Many of you, so many of you, desire domination. Dominate me, master. Tell me what to do. Well, number one, the easy way to get that is to go to Night Flirt right now, and we can talk all about it. However, the second thing to ask you is, what does domination look like to you? Because I recently wrote an article about level 1 submissives and level 2 submissives and level 3 submissives. And basically, in this world, we all start out as level 1 submissives, meaning I want you to be my personal fetish dispenser master. I have this thing I'm really into. I'm really kinky. It can be everything from smelling sweaty sneakers, which I've gotten before, to stuff that I'm probably going to get kicked off this platform for saying, so I'm not going to say it. But I have this fetish, right? I have this desire, this thing that turns me on, this thing that I want to hear. Tell me that thing that I want to hear. Do that thing that I like done to me. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with being a level 1 submissive and having your thing that you want done and wanting to press the magic button on your master so that master does exactly that thing the way that you like that thing done. However, that's not how relationships work. And if you want a real relationship, in other words, more than a transactional, I pay you to call me a dirty this or that, then you're going to have to actually allow yourself to be seen. And this is the scary part. Because when Master truly looks at you and truly understands you, then you begin to understand yourself more, and then you actually have intimacy into me I see, because you are vulnerable, which is scary and not initially fun, which is why so many of us are so lonely, because we are not being vulnerable, we are not being open, we are not being seen. But then something beautiful happens. Just like if you go through the honeymoon period with someone, and then you hit the hard stuff, and then you start dealing with reality, and then you start hitting your triggers, and they start irritating you. Well, then you hit the real stuff. And I had a dominatrix that I was submissive to for a while, and I told her, I'm just so angry at you, I want to kill you. And she said, I'm jumping up and down right now. I'm so excited. Now, why did she say that? Because we got away from the fantasy, and I have to admit, I was just as guilty of this as everyone else, because my fantasy was, well, I want you to do this to me and I want you to do this to me. And instead, she made me read personal development books that I did not want to read. But it was good for me. It was good for me to have another person coming up with some stuff and seeing into me and helping me do the things that I didn't want to do. Do you need help working out? Do you need help eating right? Do you need help actually taking that next step for your life or your career or wherever it is you want to go? Do you need help finding the truth to speak to the important people around you? Well, those are all the things that turn me on. Those are all the things that I enjoy. Spiritual growth and emotional progress and being obeyed are my fetishes. So if I'm going to use you as my fetish dispenser, that's how I'm going to use you, especially if we're in this for free, because there's no other motivation, right? Then I get to ask for whatever I want. But anyway, when you go down the domination path, it's something to think about, especially if you switch DOMs a lot, and you're going to different people and tasting and listening to a couple of recordings or doing a call or whatever it is, but not really getting that much out of it, staying the same person. I also have people who keep coming back to me with the same thing every year, and we'll have 6 weeks of fun role play there, and then they'll go away, and then they'll come back again next year and do the same thing, or 2 months later or 3 months later or whatever, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But probably the level of pleasure you're going to experience is not going to extend past what you're used to if you keep following that old path that you know, like a worn out dirty gym sock, right? And that's what this is all about. I've been on a path of pleasure full time for 15 years, and hypnosis is just a tiny, tiny part of it. There's things I can do that you cannot dream. And I want to show you those things. I want to help you find the depths, the extent, the experience, the exploration, the explosion of pleasure that goes beyond simple fantasy, that goes beyond what you think will be the most enjoyable thing. And sure, you can have that. And that's wonderful, and you should have that. You can have everything you want. But what about if someone has something even better for you? Are you ready to receive that then? That is what I wish for you, my pet.